coming up next right here on FS1. Let's head over, check in with Colin today. What is on the show?
You know, when Gronk came into the NFL, we thought he was just a big, dumb football player, right? But over the course of his career, he showed us how smart and how savvy he was. That and Zion Williamson is my favorite college basketball player ever. That's coming up.
All right, Colin, looking forward to it. Time for our final topic of the day. Jeremy Lamb of the Hornets hit this shot from half court to beat the Raptors last night. The 48-foot shot was the second longest buzzer beater in the NBA in the last 20 years. Shannon, how impressive was that shot?
I mean, if it happened against somebody else, I probably would have been more excited. But it happened against, my Raptors, and I
Your
liked
Raptors?
It was unbelievable. Yeah. This shot had no business going in. The guy makes a great play. He pokes the ball away. Lamb has to go back, and he just turns around and heaves it up, Skip.
Insane.
But these guys practice these shots a lot before and after practice. And you're like, why are they practicing shots like that? It's never going to come into a play. And lo and behold, it came into play. And it keeps their slim playoff hopes alive.
It was lucky. He banked it in. Was he aiming to bank it in? Does he practice the bank?
He was trying to put it up and like, look here. If it's long and I got it on target, it'll hit the bank and go in.
Oh,
if I
really?
got it straight on the point, it'll go swish it.
Oh, what if it hits the back iron? Then you were a little off? Your aim was a little off?
He was, I think he was a mathematics major at UConn.
Okay.
Smart.
So it was the highest arcing shot I think I've ever seen in my life.
That is true.
He shot it into the rafters. I've never seen anything like it
Because he got to
before.
get it up there, Skip.
Well,
That's a
I
long
know,
way.
and I was impressed with the strength required because to
True.
set shot that ball from half court is hard.
I mean, LeBron would have just did that.
LeBron can do that.
Like a regular shot.
He would have done that, but his feet would have been on the floor. You can't jump shoot that.
Yeah. But don't worry about it.
LeBron's turned into kind of a set shooter.
Hey, you see him letting them threes fly last night?
Yeah, he did.
But that was a good shot. That was the best shot this year.
It was the luckiest shot this year.
Skip, that was the best. Oh, you
I
should
just
be
loved
happy.
it
Fun
'cause
to
it
see.
beat number two's team.
Well, get this. Lonzo Ball is done with Big Baller Brand. ESPN reported this weekend that Lonzo cut ties with his father's company because of concerns with his dad's friend, Alan Foster, who is a part owner of the company. Ball said that Foster, quote, used his access to my business and personal finances to enrich himself. Lonzo is apparently missing about $1.5 million from his personal and business accounts and is pointing the finger at Foster. We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good morning.
Good morning.
I will start with Shannon here, though. What's your reaction to this story?
Sad. I'm disappointed. If these allegations are true, that someone, and it's normally family, someone that's close to you, that you trust, although this guy's not blood related, but he's almost like family. He trusted him. LeVar was supposed to be overlooking this also. But I believe LeVar spread himself too thin. Trying to.
You mean like overseeing it? not overlooking.
Overseeing everything.
Right. Ask Lonzo. You think it's the shoes?
Yeah.
It's got to be the shoes.
This is what
He
we
was
know.
playing in buddies, all right? You know what that is.
Yeah, I know what buddies are. But normally when you start a shoe, there's a lot of R&D that goes into that shoe. I don't know how much research and development went into Big Baller Brand. I'm just saying. Skip,
Did you get yours? I don't know.
Did you ever get them?
I did.
And?
Yeah.
And?
What do you think of them? I held them. They look all right, but
I got the
put 'em
first
on?
model. If I was the first model. Now, if I was a security guard with a flashlight, what I'm trying to make sure they
can wear them. They be all right.
they good for that. But that's about it.
Quite an endorsement.
But here's the thing. If I'm Lonzo, Skip, do you know this guy's resume? This guy was sentenced to more than 7 years, pleading guilty to mail fraud and 2 counts of money laundering, defrauding 70 investors of $4 million. And you put him in charge of the money? Come on, Skip. A guy got arrested, spent time in prison for mail fraud and embezzling, and you put him in charge of the money. That makes no sense. You can't, there's no way. I don't care if it's my brother. My brother goes do time for stealing money. He can't be in charge of my money. Now, somebody else might be fool enough to let him be in charge, but he can't be in charge of mine. So I'm sorry, Lonzo. I hope this is not true. And if it is true, I hope you can recoup everything. But Skip, man, people don't know. People ain't going to do I lost some money one time. I lost a big chunk of money one time. And I wanted to put that thing to his head. Real talk, Skip Bayless. But you know I'm saying, you know what? I go to jail. I'm going to go to jail because I'm going to go to jail. I know I'm going to go to jail. And then my kids were very young then. It wasn't 1.5, it was 500,000, Skip. And the dude took it. A lot of dudes took it. And I really thought about it. I really did think about it.
Friend?
No, it wasn't a friend. It's somebody, you know, I trust. Someone, you know, this guy's doing a good job. I mean, at first he was doing a good job.
Yeah.
But all good things come to an end. And I'm glad the discretion was that, you know, I thought about it. But, man, this is 1.5 million is a lot of money. Right. First of all, if it's $2, I worked hard to get those $2, and you took my money.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Shannon. This is sad, number one. We know this guy, Alan Foster's been up here. We've all had, you know, LeVar's been on the show.
He comes every time with the.
Yeah, seemed like a nice guy.
He runs
and
their social media. Yeah.
So it was sad. When I saw the story and his picture, it was just stunned because you had dealt with this guy. And also for all the mistakes that LeVar has made, and there's plenty with all three of his sons. Yeah. I mean, LiAngelo should still be at UCLA.
Sure.
LaMelo should still have college eligibility. Right. You know, if he hadn't gone there. I mean, he's done made some major mistakes with those kids. However, you could always say it seemed like he meant well.
Yes.
And I think he did mean well. And he loved this family. So the kids have removed the pictures of their dad and Big Baller Brand from Instagram. I hope that the family is not estranged. Now, obviously, you got to get rid of Alan Foster. Yeah. But hopefully, and the dad, I mean, not looking at the emails. You mentioned putting the guy in charge of the money. That was terrible. Not looking at the email from the agent. They sent it in October about all the misdeeds financially. Reportedly, LeVar didn't look at it until a week ago. So that's horrible. So I get why if they're mad with their dad, I get it. But hopefully they will be able to work it out as a family and just be a regular family. Like the dad, you're not involved with my business.
Dad.
You're just a dad. You're just a dad. Now, I think, like you said, it's great for Lonzo. He hashtagged on Instagram, my own man. I didn't like him putting the number 2 in the rafters. Just become a legitimate starter first. You know what I mean? Like, but I think we're going to see the best of Lonzo, like whatever that is, whether that's an all-star like Skip may think, or that's just a good starter, whatever. I think he's going to get a better trainer. Yes. I think he'll be healthier, whether it's the sneakers or not. I just think we'll see the best of Lonzo going forward. And I would say this, Shannon, and maybe you can relate to it. Sometimes, and I've been a victim in the black community with the racism historically, and that still goes on today with mass incarceration, with the war on drugs. I know guys that have spent many years in prison. I got some friends that have spent many years in prison. And a lot of times you give them the benefit of the doubt. Because you may think they may have done something wrong, or maybe the system, caught up with them, or you think they're rehabilitated. And now I wouldn't have put him in charge of the money, like you said, but I've been burned by I haven't lost money, and obviously not to this extent, but I've been disappointed. I trusted some guys that have been in prison that I thought they would change their behavior. I thought, and I've ended up disappointed because they didn't act like I thought they would. And so I can understand when LeVar said, I believe the best in people. I can understand how he may have known about this guy's background, but still thought, this is my man, I can trust him.
He wouldn't do that to me.
He was burned.
He wouldn't do that to us, Skip.
Right.
So obviously I remain a big Lonzo fan, basketball-wise. This just tears me up for how hard his father made it for this kid. Because not only did he just about talk him straight out of the league as the number 2 overall pick, playing point guard for Magic Johnson in his home area of Los Angeles. That's hard enough. But when you say he's better than Steph, he's better than LeBron, blah, 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 it just makes it harder and harder. And we all hark back to Patrick Beverley on opening night. Just said, I'm going to destroy this kid, and I'm going to point to you in the stands, LeVar, because this is for you, not for this poor kid, because he's just a an NBA baby. I don't know what, this has got to be devastating, embarrassing, completely distracting when you're trying to play basketball and you got this hanging over your head. And this is why I'm so disappointed in LeVar. And I've defended him many times on this show just because he loves his kids too